Age 7, I enrolled as a grade 1, which is not supposed to be, but because of my high grades, I was granted. It was the beginning of the dim life in the future years. After every coming home from school, my mom would always ask me, "How's the day in school?" I would answer, "Oh, fine, fun, and learnable day, mom." My parents didn't know that my grade 1 teacher won't allow anyone of us to go outside during classes. Every time I want to pee or urinate, she would scold and shout, scaring to pull me out from class by giving a failing grade if I uh, continue to approach um, for a urine during class. She said, I must finish the class time before entirely bursting all my urine. It created me to have an acute kidney trouble that I was painfully suffered for a weekly checkup in the hospital until a doctor asked my mom what was the root cause of my um, dry intestine. At the end of the doctor's investigation, it came to the point that I confessed about my teacher's doing. Um, my mom got so mad at her that she went to my teacher and confronted her, saying, "Is this what you also were doing to the rest of the students here in your classroom? While I am also a teacher to my college students, the reason why you could afford to treat my daughter without a right because she is so small? What if I am in your shoes and your daughter is my student? What would you feel if she later become acute of kidney just because I treat her evil? I wonder what you would do to me if that uh, thing I will also do to you." The thing was reported by my mom to the principal office, and she was fired in school. I mean, my grade 1 teacher. I carried that sickness until my 5th grade, and uh, it was completely recovered. Age 8, I was grade 2, elementary grade. That was Saturday morning. I played alone to the back of the chapel where my mom worked. I was destroying the beautiful daisy flowers and put it in my ears to look like a lovely young lady. A handsome boy, aged 10, passed by outside the gate and asked me one of my flowers. I gave him one. His name is John Gonzalez. He said that his father is the best friend of Montelibano. I questioned him. Who was Montelibano? Jun answered, "It means a politician man here. We're from Iloilo, and I am a grandson of a mayor. But now is a vacation time, and every year my parents would bring me here and have a great party in Montalibano's house. Every day he visits me, and until I um, let him get inside, even if I brought with me my 5 dogs. We sat down sweetly upon a rock. He brought chocolates and also a different flower just to make me happy. It was every day and almost 2 weeks, not until his mom noticed him every day, always away from their friend's house. She saw his son inside the university and premises. He was scolded by his mom because of me. She didn't even like me or say a word to notice me. Every day in his absence, I remembered him kissed my cheeks after giving me that flower and chocolates. I would also kiss his cheeks afterwards. He was my first love, my first kiss. I even made a song for him titled June Gone. Every day of my every very day of my desire in seeing him, I one day decided to make a last day in going to the playground where we used to go. Both famous songs titled For Just a Moment. This used to be my playground by Madonna. Was both cried with much tears as a proof of my first heartache. That final day, June and I coincidentally saw each other at the gate of the playground. He said, "Don't expect me anymore forever," cause my parents knew that I get close to a second class people or low class, and that's so they said they will bring me to the US to continue my schooling and prepare for me a friend's daughter from a wealthy family, they said. For me, I wouldn't, but what could I do? 'Cause I'm still small and can't stand alone for us. He shed tears, and as he waved goodbye and went away, waited by his mom, who said, "Sorry, young lady, 'cause my husband is all I obey, but on my own I choose you for my son." I called Junjun. "Don't leave me." That was my first cry, my first hurt, but that was just the beginning of unending tears. Age 8. I was a champion in sports, a champ as a catcher and pitcher in baseball, and a great big brother, and a great big batter is what they call me. A force that could push the ball to a very far place so I can hit the home run base. A champ as a runner against Nievagakos. A champ as a high jumper. A singer during those years in school, but not as always, like Annabelle. A champ is a very happy, funny sport called Find Your Kingdom. One of the champ in a game called Under's Kingdom. One of the champion in a game called Bond Kick, and Chinese Garter. A lot more fun without the internet. Age 9. Almost mine. My grandfather died. Almost 9. Oh boy. When my grandfather died because of very lack of vitamin B due to overwork in the farm. Sport. A vacation in Antique. Sport or this? Sorry guys, nabasa ako mali. Sabi ko, a vacation in Antique, learned I didn't called Antiqueño. Learned a lot more games there with new found friends, brought knowledge of games in school. It made me famous all over the campus, which led all the young boys to fall in love with me. But when I had a fear of loving someone, but then I had a fear of loving someone else, so I hid my heart until another boy, very handsome, took away my heart, cause he's my closest friend's brother, my fellow youths in the church. I led them to my pastor's church and we all got baptized at a very young age, while me, at the age of 11. I just let them go ahead first cause I wasn't sure first. I was a shy type of person. He was Edward Sangwansok. Before coming to school, he would fetch me first from the house, and then we will go both together in going to school. We were so sweet. One day, his sister and cousin had an extreme quarrel because of my best friend, Novima. I just protected her from devastation and act of abuse. Sooner or later, Edward and I were affected. I was told by them to stop having a relationship with me that led me to a silent breakup. He no longer fetched me, but rather saw him with another girl. I was like a statue. My theme song then was from the Whitney Houston's All at Once, my first heartbreak with the one I love. There was then a TV competition in RPN 9. Yeah. And then I joined and I got a third prize in the TV competition. That was my first joined the competition during the time. And I sang the song all at once. I won the third place in TV. Grade 1 to 3rd grade, I was a muse in school. Age 10, I totally focused myself in church until I met a brother of one of the young people in choir. She was Jennifer Tordillos and Joel Tordillos Jr. They are the son and daughter of the two twins, Nancy and Mercy. Both of us decided to be in a relationship for the future. One day his attitude was totally changed. He's no longer sweet in his actions and no longer kind in words. He warned me not to come to his birthday because after the misunderstandings, he said, we will be known to his family. Out of the blue, on his birthday, I didn't understood that the act that he made was already a breakup. I went to his house to surprise him in his birthday with a gift wrapped, brought by in my hand. I silently went inside his house to see how he celebrates the birthday without me. I was shocked of what I saw in a person beside him. Everybody was happy and said, cheers for the new partners! Yoo! A woman was sitting beside him. I went back home and a song titled Will You Still Love Me by Peter Cetera, plus a song of Randy Santiago, Hindi Magbabago, hit my heart. To feel a deep sadness and then cried. I said to myself, I used to feel this way, and I am stronger now. We met in the church, and pretend I didn't know. I sensed him avoiding me, asked him, what's wrong? Nothing, he said, until I intend to kiss his lips. He even avoided me. I said, I already knew. It was your birthday event. He shocked, and I said, I am breaking up with you. Say thank you, so you can now be free. He said, he still loved me, but I said, no, you don't. You do not fool me. Since then, Jennifer got mad, his cousin, and said to me, you made us both discouraged in coming back to church anymore because of your breakup. I said, sorry, I am faithful, and I just don't allow someone to make me dance around his finger without music. So in truth, Joel was a dance leader in his school, while me too, in my own school, and until I reached my high school. He said, he also had a good voice, a bass singer in the choir. Next paragraph. I decided myself much a lot in all church activities in order to forget Joel. One day, my mom said, my daughter, I want you to come with me to a religious seminar in Iloilo because We used to live in Bacolod at the time. It was held in a beach resort. And because my mom was a representative in the church, and in that school pala, where she worked, our food and hotel for 3 days are all subject for free, except our other extra wanting needs bought at the canteen. Happy moments couldn't be described, and there I knew Pipito Santa Ana Bien Jr. We felt so much love, but just in the eyes. But an aggressive woman was more likely to be given attention by him rather than me. He also asked for my address and waited for 5 months before he get decided to write a first letter for me. He was 22, while I was 13. The song Joni, Joni, wait for me. Can't you see? Ganun. This is a song. Was my theme song for him. We exchanged random letters, but after 1 year, he got lost, and I can't understand why. All I knew was that he was a combat warrior in the military suit and worked, as I saw in his picture sent to me. And all I knew too was that I converted him through my words in my letter. I never expected that he secretly studied in the Bible school, left his career in the army, to sooner surprise me that he will become a pastor by accepting Christ as a Savior. That surprise became a heartache for me, feeling that I was abandoned and forgotten. And so, because of that, uh, my mom said to me one day, um, daughter, um, I had a friend in the out of town. He's also a Christian, and he's begging me to let her daughter stay in her house to sponsor her studies, and she will help us with household work. She will also be uh, helping us and she will also take care of you sometimes when I'm not in the house while in my office. And so I agree because we're the same age. But in school where I studied in high school, she was in a different section, in a different in a lower section, or yeah, in a lower section. Yes, so that girl mean much to me because we got so close. Because every day we eat together, we sleep together until I was so silent, I was a shy type, and my face is so sad and I will cry. And she said to me, why cry? When secretly come with me, even though your mom won't allow us, we will not go to school. We will escape in school for 2 to 3 days. And I said to her, where are we going? And she said, I will bring you to my hometown in Hinigaran. And I knew a man there, a very handsome young man there. I will recommend him for you. So then we went there, and then after we get there, I didn't know that I was really mock carry for the family side of the young man that she told me about. And then we came to the house of the young man, and my whole body chilled, and because I didn't expect that the man would also like me. He asked my address, while the neighbor of that man had a secret admirer, a woman, but she was also a bet. I mean, she's also an option of the man, but I was a first priority. His name is Romelo Gonzalez. Junior. And so the man later on wrote me a letter because at that time there was no internet. Uh, when he wrote to me a letter, I responded, and not as much as the great letter sent by Pipito, but I totally didn't expect any more about Pipito because it was 1 year, 2 years, or more. I never heard about him. So this Romelo one day surprised me. He came to my house in Bacolod. I mean, it's in the city part where I lived. So my mom didn't like that boy because she didn't knew that we went there secretly to the hometown of the lady living in the house. And so what happened is that she shouted to the young boy and said, "Who are you? From now on, I won't allow you to visit my daughter." And I became rebellious at the time because I said to my mother, "Don't do it to him. He is my boyfriend." Uh, so my mom said, "This is what I got from you for bringing you up in a good, or keeping you safe from all harm. You make yourself so harm. You are the one who harming yourself." And then, but then, later on, my mom's still didn't have, still didn't knew the secret. One bad secret that she didn't knew until I confessed to her because she wondered about the illness that the young lady in the house is suffering. She, her name is Marivic Sanyopal, the girl in the house. Marivic Sanyopal um, mm, influenced me for the taking drugs like marijuana and all the rest of the drugs. She was tawag di- my my evil mentor. What I mean. So she was being uh, my mom said to her, "Go out of the house, bring all your things and pack it all." And so the father of the young lady in the house also cried and said, "What have you done to Ernely, the best friend's daughter? So we are no longer in their hands. What will happen to us? This is your fault." So the father of the young lady brought her back to to the mountain or to the farm or to the far place. So I'm in a rehab in the house. I wasn't brought to the uh, rehabilitation center or what we call in the crazy hospital. I mean, I was just in the house being kept by my parents. Um, I was rehabbed. They brought me to the to the psychiatrist, and all the medications and all the craziness that love life battle brought to me until they bring me back. They brought me back to God. My parents were suffering, were struggling. How can I, how can I ever go back to this normal life? Oh, this is my Valentine presentation in this episode. Thanks for hearing. All you have to do is comment first and then like and then subscribe. Thank you. Bye.